Hey guys, welcome back to my channel High on Life Dreamer in Canada. My name is Karan. As promised in the last video, today I'll be sharing with you my visa journey. Which course I took, which college or university I took admission to, basically my entire study visa journey. So stay tuned and watch this video till the end. But before I go ahead, let me remind you to subscribe to my channel, like this video, hit the bell icon. Please do that right away. Let's get started. I started working on my application in this year, January, met a lot of consultants to understand, in terms of the chances that I have of getting a study permit. So after meeting a lot of consultants, I finally finalized one consultant here in Chandigarh, Canem Consultants. They guided me well in terms of, which courses should I go for, which universities, should I apply to, which college should I apply to. So I'll be sharing with you the detailed description of whatever I did. But the main important factor in my application is my application had two complications. One, I had a gap of 10 years in my education. So I completed my last education in 2011. I worked from 2011 till now, but then there was an education gap of 10 years. So this was first problem. Second, I only had 50% marks in my graduation. Guys, I pursued English Honours from University of Delhi, Jesus and Mary College. Now, those who have done this course would understand it is not easy to score marks in English Honours. I have been a good student all my life. So I've scored 80% in 10th, 85 in 12th. And in my postgraduate program in management also, I scored a good CGP of 2.98 on 4. But graduation was a weak spot for me since it was English Honours. So that was the second main problem. So yes, keeping these complications in mind, my consultant started to search for college and universities for me for which I was eligible. As per my eligibility, they found out 4 college/universities for which I was eligible. First, I applied for Global Business Management course in Conestoga College. Second, International Business Management in Mohawk College. Third, Graduate Certificate in Public Relations in Cambrian College. And fourth, I applied in Trent University, Durham, Greater Toronto area. In this university, I was eligible for 3 courses. So I applied for all 3. First course was Postgraduate Certificate in Marketing and Entrepreneurship. Second, Postgraduate Certificate in Business Human Resource. Third, it was a dual certificate of Business Human Resource and Marketing Management. So all these 3 courses I applied in Trent University. Now the next step was to wait for the acceptance letter. I got accepted in all the colleges except for Cambrian College, because in Cambrian College, they were no longer accepting applications which had a gap of 5 years or more in their education. So that was the only college with which I didn't get through. Once I got offered from all the other colleges and Trent University, the next step was to finalize which college or university that I should go for. So I spoke to a lot of friends around and people who were studying in Canada, who were staying in Canada for long. Everybody suggested me to go for a university over a college, because when you have gap, it is better to take chances with a university. The visa acceptance rates are really high. And thank God I listened to them. So I chose Trent University over all the other colleges that I had got through. And I got my PPR, guys. Yes, so my study permit was approved. Now let's talk about the timeline of my visa application. I got my offer letter from Trent University in the last week of February, okay? But it was a conditional offer letter which stated that I need to send them my post-secondary original transcripts. Only then they will give me an unconditional offer letter. So the next step for me to do was I contacted my college and my university to send them the original transcripts. My post-graduation is from ILM New Delhi, that's in Lodhi Road. So there the process was really simple. I contacted the admissions office in the college. I mailed them that this is what my university needs for me to be accepted in that university. So they mailed Trent University the original transcripts and they, CC'd me in the mail. So it was pretty simple. The main problem was there with Delhi University, as the same service was not available. For Delhi University, I had to go to the university, file, a paper application to apply for transcripts. It takes 21 days for Delhi University to prepare those transcripts for you. So let's say I filed it on 3rd of March. I got my transcripts on 21st of March. And on the 23rd March, I mailed them to Trent University. I couriered them. Those were the hard copies that had to be couriered directly from Delhi University to Trent. So I did that once I received those hard copies after 21 days from Delhi University. So now both the transcripts were gone, and it took for them about a month, because of pandemic they were really busy, to send me the unconditional offer letter. Now the main thing was there, time to apply for the visa. Now you know what? The main confusion started. Which course should I choose? What should be the duration? Should it be a 2-year course that I go for? Should it be a 1-year course? Because as I told you, I applied for 3 courses in Trent University, okay? 2 courses were of 1 year each. So their 1 year is, they have 2 terms in a year. So 4 months first term, 4 months second term. In 8 months, your course is complete, and that is considered as 1 year. But in the second case, which is a dual certificate, it's a 2-year program. But that still can be completed within 16 months. And that's what I chose finally. And I'll tell you the reason why I chose it. See, if you go for a 1-year course, you get a 1-year postgraduate work permit after that. But if you choose a 2-year course, you get 3 years of postgraduate work permit. So obviously that made a lot of sense for me, as you know, there's no tension and stress ahead for the next process. A lot of students also opt for 1+1 option. What they do is they take admission in one course here in India, and once they are in Canada, they take admission in the second course at the end of their first course. I didn't want to do that, because I again didn't want to get into that hassle of choosing a college, choosing a course, again going through the entire process, applying. So I thought it would be very sorted if from India only I choose a 2-year program, so that my next process is very smooth and seamless. Now, a lot of people have their budget constraints also. So guys, if you have a budget constraint, you can choose for 1+1 option. But if you're okay to spend the kind of money Trent University, has for the fees, or any other university, I would highly recommend go for a 2-year course. Now, after deciding that I'll be going for a 2-year course, the next step was to pay the fees. So I applied under SDS category. In SDS category, you have to pay your entire 1-year fees, at one time, and then you have to pay a GIC also. So I chose SDS category. There is a non-SDS category also. In non-SDS category, you can just pay fees for first semester, and it is your choice whether you want to pay the GIC or you don't want to pay the GIC. But if you are someone who's 30 plus and who has a gap of 10 years of education, or any other gap in your profile, I would suggest go for SDS category. It is faster and it is safer. The visa acceptance rate is also really high under SDS category. This is as per my research. You do your own thorough research for this. For those who don't know what GIC is, it is a short-term liquid investment offered by Canadian banks for up to 1 year. So you need to pay 10,000 CAD in your GIC, which is given to you, by the Canadian banks every month for an entire duration of your stay. This money is given to you by the banks for your monthly expenses, so you can use it wisely. Second step in the visa application was IELTS. For SDS category, you need minimum 6 bands in all the categories, that is reading, writing, listening and speaking. I had 7.5 score in my IELTS. I gave general IELTS, but academic and general, both IELTS are accepted. Again, if you are in this category of 30 plus, score the maximum points in IELTS. Don't rely on scoring 666. If you can score 7.58, that will be really beneficial for you. There won't be chances of rejection. Now, third step was to prepare for the SOP. SOP is the most important part of your study visa application. This is the only medium of communication between you and the visa officer. Hence, you should take it very seriously. Don't completely depend on the agent to write it. It is your life story, your achievements. Who better than you could write it, okay? So your SOP should be in your hands. I wrote my SOP myself, but got it checked from my agent, so that it should have all the aspects of important information it should have. But writing your SOP yourself is very important. Don't just blindly copy paste it from the internet. A lot of students do that, and that is why they face rejections, okay? So Take your decision wisely. Look at a lot of SOPs, but give it your personal touch. Now, once these steps were done, I applied for my visa on 27th May. I got my biometric done on 28th June. That's exactly after 1 month of submitting my visa file, because that time, biometric were not happening, the bags were closed. So 28th June, my biometrics were done. 29th June, I received my BVL, that's biometric validation letter. And on 22nd July, I got my PPR. So this was the entire timeline of my study permit. I hope it gives you a lot of information that can be helpful for you. Now, as smooth as this process looks like, I'm sure there are a lot of doubts and fear that you might have in your mind. I had them in my mind. These doubts were, I'm 30 plus, should I go for education? Won't it be very difficult? How will I leave my family behind? It is a very risky decision to do that kind of investment. But let me tell you, don't let these fears stop you from taking that one decision that can change your life. If you have dreamt it, just work towards achieving it. वो कहते हैं ना, डर के आगे ही जीत है. Once you take first step, it's all about taking that first step. Everything will start falling into place. So that's it for today. I'll see you guys around soon. Take care. Bye-bye. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video and share it with all the friends and family that you have. Hit the bell icon also so that you don't miss any updates.